They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know to stop me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every night. And oh my, I don't stop. And when you're done, I make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my feet, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I sing to every night. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna try. And now I'm ready to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'm get to do it all again. They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, 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 oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, 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 oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my feet, and place them both in mine. You know to stop me dead while I was passing by.
Shall we wait for 2 more minutes?
Yep, we'll wait for 2 more minutes and we'll start then.
Sure, thanks.
Yep.
All right, Vivek, I think we're good and we can
Yep.
start.
Yep, we can start. So, good afternoon, guys, in India, and uh, hello, everyone who else are joining out of India. Hope you all are doing good, safe at your home, and uh, now Prashant will take care from here. Prashant, on to you.
Sure, Vivek, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to D365 CHAM's Power Platform Meetup, Hyderabad chapter. This is the first of its kind we're conducting, but we'll try our best to do this every month, at least once, so all of us can be updated what's happening in Microsoft business applications and Power Platform world. I'll just quickly share the agenda for today. So we're going to briefly touch upon who we are as Dynamics 365 Champs community and how can you connect with us. We will look at a few news updates and upcoming events, and then we'll continue our session, Power Virtual Agents 101 by Deepesh, and we will try and take questions towards the end of the session. In terms of telling you who we are, what D365 Champs is about, it's your own local community. And what I've tried to do here is provide you a timeline, a brief timeline when this community started and how it got ideated. So in 2018, community leads realized the need of local community in Southeast Asia. So that's when people were thinking about having something, because across the globe there are, can you please mute yourself because I can hear myself twice.
You are on mute.
Somebody muted me. Like
Yeah.
I was asking you to mute yourself, not
No,
me.
actually, I muted all, so you can
Oh,
continue, Prashant.
okay. Where was I when you last heard me?
It was you were in 2018
You
still.
were
Okay.
initiating things of the Champs community.
Okay, so I'll go through this slide again. So D365 Champs is your local community. I've tried to provide a brief timeline here how we got into existence. So in 2018, community leads realized that there's a need of local community in Southeast Asia region. Um, as we know, across the globe, there are multiple communities and everybody can participate, but our region was lacking, and hence the leads teamed up in 2019. Now, don't go with the numbers, that can be plus minus 1 or 2, but they teamed up together and started the first chapter in Singapore. The number of leads grew during the course of time, and the community went global. And in 2020, which is our current year, we have members and leads in Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, UK, India, Philippines, Vietnam, Germany, US, and many other countries. We have a LinkedIn following of approximately 5,000 people, Kaizala membership of 700 people, and in the future, we are coming up with a lot of new initiatives, which can include, but not limited to, like free courses, getting free education about the platform from the community, similar things. So that's what future looks like for us. And how can you get connected with us? These are the social media platforms. You've got LinkedIn, Twitter, Kaizala, and I've also provided the QR code here. If you are on your laptop, you can still scan it from your mobile and just join the group. There are 700 people who ask their query, but the group is not just about questions and answers. There is a lot of fun which goes on there. You'll get quizzes twice a week, and you can answer. You can be part of the leaderboard, and all different fun sort of thing happens there. You can follow us on Twitter if you want. You'll get updates, whatever we are doing, whatever events are happening, and also on LinkedIn. This, just in case you want to speak at one of the meetups, you can scan this QR code, or you can look at the Tiny URL which I've provided, which is tiny.cc/D365champs meetup. And there you'll have to fill up a form to let us know that you're interested in presenting a topic, and we'll get in touch with you as soon as we can. Now, I'll provide you quick updates what's going on in the industry, Microsoft Biz App space. So Microsoft acquired Softomotive, which was or is an RPA company, with the help of which the following update, which is Win Automation, is now available with UI Flows. If you have heard of UI Flows, there's a new feature there which has been enabled because Microsoft acquired Softomotive. So now you've got Win Automation inside it. Wave 2 2020 details are now available on docs.microsoft.com, and most features will be in public preview by early August. Upcoming events, we're 25th of July, which is next Saturday. We have got Mumbai Meetup coming up. It would be presented by Andrew Lee, and it would be about how to start working with PCF controls. And we also have Power Virtual Hours coming up towards the end of August. Timing would be same, 12:30 p.m. And towards the end, I would just like to thank our sponsors, Dynamic City, your trusted Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform partners. They're into implementations, upgrade, managed services, and trainings as well. Thanks for bearing all our costs related to the meetup. So thank you, Dynamic City, for your support. With that, I will hand it over to Deepesh. First of all, a very warm welcome, Deepesh, and taking out the time for us and share your experience and industry knowledge with us. I would like to request you that if you can provide a brief introduction about yourself and connect with our audience and share your screen, please.
Sure, Prashant. I was just getting the fun with the Teams app right now. Let me know once you can see my screen. I'm just going to try and share my screen. Let me know if you see the screen well now.
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, what about now?
Yes.
Yep.
There.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Prashant, for the wonderful introduction towards Champs community, and thank you, Vivek, to start over this call. Of course, we have other leads and we'll talk towards the end. I'm not going to keep a lot of time introducing myself. I think if you have worked with Dynamics 365 space, I really wish that at one point or other my blog has come to help, and I've tried to start my community contribution from the blogging stage. Today, the topic that I'm going to cover is Power Virtual Agents 101. There's a very simple demonstration that we are going to do, and that's the first one in our Power Platform meetup for Hyderabad. What is Power Virtual Agent about, and what are the best practices of using it? 1 hour is very limited time, or within 1 hour is a very limited time to cover everything, but I'll try to focus on the core points and take you through one demonstration. There's a community bot which will come towards the end, and I'll try to tell you where are the different things and what are the engineering initiatives that you need to do. Engineering initiatives, by that I mean, what is the engineering you need to do behind the scenes? Of course, if the time permits, we'll take as many questions.
Sorry, Deepesh, I'll have to interrupt. And the reason is I forgot to announce something. This is really important, guys, that we are recording this meeting for the benefit of the community because we'll share it later on. So if you don't want to be recorded, you might want to leave. Otherwise, all's good. Please stay here and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant. Yeah, I was just coming to that. So if the queries are not handled, you can always reach me out directly. There are many handles, and you can reach through the Champs community as well, because sometimes it happens that the queries are not there. If some of you want to refer it back, this is going to be available on Champs YouTube channel later, right? So you can always refer back there, and we are recording, right? We publicly share the knowledge that we are gathering over here. So your queries might also be a great learning for somebody else. So please feel free to use the chat window. And if you really have a pressing need, Prashant and Vivek both are moderating, so they'll be pressing with me from time to time. I'll be in a flow once I get into the presentation. I'll try to keep up the time. My brief introduction. I have been an MVP since 2015 and I have been a professional in the industry since 2008. These are different links you can look at. Okay, something happened there. My PowerPoint just crashed. Sorry about that. Maybe it didn't like me introducing myself. Give me a quick second. So maybe I'll not stick to that slide, Prashant. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, I've been Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award winner. Of course, I've been an active blogger, author to multiple Dynamics 365 books. You can reach me out through any of the channels. I'm always there. Definitely, there might be delays at some time. There's a YouTube channel as well. Of course, this video will not go to that channel. It will go to Champs, but I will add it to my playlist there, so you can refer from there as well. Going forward, most recent thing I would like to talk about is Power Advice. There was in the Indian podcasting space, I thought it's a good new thing to try out. I've been trying for the last month or so. So if you are really interested with podcasts, there's a podcast out there called as Power Advice in all the major podcast stores of the world. So you can check it on Google, on iOS and so forth. There are a lot of learnings I share there as well. And Prashant, thank you again to you to give that kind of epic 52-minute podcast we did last week, talking about consulting power with Power Platform. Moving forward, what is the agenda and what we are going to cover today? We are going to go through the introduction. Of course, there might be audience here which might not have yet gone with Power Platform in, and this is your first time. You can let us be aware, and I will just give a brief introduction of the platform first, because Power Platform is the beneath foundation or base foundation that is utilized by Power Virtual Agents. So it is important to know that foundation. Then we are going to straight away dive into the life cycle of Power Virtual Agents, how it is built, what kind of architecture it is built on, and the information of architecture, the chatbot creation process. I want to focus there, how Microsoft Power Automate helps. When should we hand off to a support agent? What should be the topic design principles and conversation styles? And then analytics monitoring and the performance improvement. So chatbot is an iterative process, and some of the things you might be seeing on this agenda slide might not be clear at the moment, but as we get on the relevant slide, we'll go through that. Microsoft Power Platform, not going to spend deep diving time. I will sum it up with 3 A's and 1 A that is added recently. The 3 first A's, which is Power BI, which is your analyze, Power Apps, which is your act, Power Automate. The name itself has now become automate, right? So that is the 3 A's that were originally there. And the A that was missing was a intelligent agent or intelligent bot. And that is the 4th A Microsoft has added in there in the platform. And that shows the commitment from Microsoft. I'm really excited always to talk about Power Platform, the commitment and the excitement of the latest and greatest. If you want to see from Microsoft's cloud, you have to definitely give a look at Microsoft Power Platform. So what is this? This is the leading low-code platform. If you look at all the reports, Forrester, Gartner, it has been having staggering numbers in the last few quarters for Microsoft. And even in the current crisis time, it is giving relevant digital transformation in a very low cost and reducing the time it takes to quickly move into the transformation mode. Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI, they form the complete product family kind of suite. And then underneath you have data connectors, portals, AI Builder, and Common Data Service. Common Data Service is really the beneath hook, or kind of the hook that brings everything together. So that's just a brief introduction of Power Platform. Of course, it spans across Office 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, and it can be third-party applications, right? Power Automate, when it comes to Power Automate, you can integrate anything. What is the thing with Power Virtual Agents and what was the space lacking? So far, if you wanted to build a bot before Power Virtual Agent, let me get into that history, right? You needed to code. And this is back in 2017 when we first experimented with the Azure Bot Framework and tried to integrate it to the other backend applications, even in Microsoft Stack with Dynamics 365. That kind of a project took me and a team almost month and a half. That video is also out there. If you want a link, you can ask me. And that kind of a bot today will take us hardly like 5 minutes. That's the improvement Power Virtual Agents provide. And that's from a personal experience standpoint. They were hard to create and expensive to maintain. So when we invested into that Azure bot, three-man months were invested in, including an architect. So that's a lot of hard time investment, right? There was an impedance between subject matter experts with the answers and the developers and scientists who created the bot. So of course we had a machine learning expert with us because the technology required somebody with the expertise to be involved, and then we needed Azure developer with different set of skills and an architect with both kind of bridging gap, right? They aren't, that was not quite useful. Bots aren't useful unless they can integrate with the backend and provide personalized answers. And there was a lot of challenge doing that. Let's say my knowledge base was stored in Dynamics 365. And for those of you who are listening to knowledge base for the first time, Dynamics 365 has a kind of entity or a record type where you store all the knowledge bases. This is my problem, this is the solution. If customer comes with this kind of a query, this kind of solution should come. This kind of backend was required to do customer service, right? Where that's the space where bots help. But in case of the Azure bot, it was very, very tricky and complex to implement them. And that's where this Power Virtual Agents come together. These are intelligent chatbots. In a low-code, no-code way, I can bridge that gap. They engage naturally. Microsoft's vision here is to empower every organization to easily provide delightful, natural interactions with their customers and improve engagements and outcomes. Engage naturally. It should feel like I'm talking to a human. Continuously enhance. They give you analytics and they give you the terms, which channels are working better. We'll talk about channels. Your bots can be published to multiple channels. So continuously you have enhancement possible. You can really democratize your AI, right? How? By the empowerment of citizen developer and giving them the tools to easily build their bots because they know their subjects. For example, if I'm a healthcare worker or a healthcare provider, I know my domain, not somebody with a machine learning expertise, not somebody with a C# skill set, right? So it makes sense, or not somebody who's an Azure expert. I have nothing against technical skill sets. I will talk about if you really have complicated scenarios, what you need to be doing. However, those kinds of skill sets are required, and then finally taking action. Sometimes the bot cannot handle it for me anymore. And how do I transfer, right? Very, very important things that the vision of Power Virtual Agents was created by for Microsoft. If you understand what we are going to talk about later, the next thing is how do we do this via Power Virtual Agents, right? So the life cycle is pretty important. You create a bot using a simple graphical interface. So some of you must have already done Power Automate or Power Apps. You might also have done things with Power BI. The key thing there, and even with Dynamics, customization capabilities and the way you do it is very, very easy. There is a simple graphical interface in most of this configuration. Makes it easy for me to change the technology as per the needs of my digital transformation or business needs. And business needs are always changing. The only thing constant about business needs is they change. Today, the way I do business will change next year. A great example of it is we didn't used to have Power Platform 3 years back, right? Now I have Power Platform, I can change the way I transform business, and that should change the way in turn I am operating. It will make me more efficient and so forth, right? So use of simple graphical interface. Getting starter topics to build upon, like you can start from some FAQ, from site, etc. So you can use those kinds of sites, and most of the companies currently do have a FAQ site. So you can simply start from those kinds of topics to build your particular bot, and then you can author topics. So in this screen, you can clearly see, maybe I'll use my purple marker. I'm really in awe with this purple marker nowadays because Power Platform has turned really purple nowadays, if you notice, right? So this purple marker on a graphical editable interface where I can just author in, and it will give me different kinds of heads. So this is an authoring canvas where I can author different kind of things very easily. I can extract, I can use variables of different sort, etc. Then I can integrate bot with backend API using MS Flow. MS Flow which is former name for Power Automate. I can use a lot of backend API integrations using triggers to Power Automate. I can extend my bot with the different needed skills for complex scenarios. So I can make really more complex scenarios, the resultant of integrating Power Automate. And finally, I can publish bot to different channels. What are my channels at the moment? For example, Facebook, Skype, and Teams. You can go for your custom website. You can go for the website that is being provided by Microsoft. You can embed it onto a Power App portal as well at this stage. There are ever-growing list of channels that Microsoft is adding to this. And if you don't have all this, there is API option also available, right, to embed. Then the iterative process follows. You have to monitor your bot performance and improve, and that is also provided within the tool set. So I can monitor my bot performance, improve, again get into the same thing, right? I have to start the next iteration of improvements. Anything that is powered with machine learning and AI, the number one thing to understand there is there will be a time required for the AI to start kicking in, and over a period of time it will improve, right? So initially, for example, Prashant is connecting to us from Australia, Dharana is connecting to us from Malaysia, and Vivek is in India, Roma is in South Africa. There is just different ways of greeting everywhere, right? Prashant, do you use hi mate? Just to see if I'm still audible.
Hey mate or hey bud.
Mate or hi mate, right? And in India, we might not use that. And in South Africa, we use something else. So there is always a chance of improvement just for the way where your customers are, right? So in one iteration of a life cycle, you might not get there, but yes, multiple iterations, you get there as a customer. And that's what Power Virtual Agent lifecycle slide was about. Next thing, it is built on top of Power Platform. At this stage, there are close to 320 connectors. All the official Microsoft documentations that I have checked, some say 250, some say 300 plus. Exact count, I think, is 317 when I last checked, and I'm very careful in saying this when I last checked. And my last check might be a bit different, but close to 320 out-of-box connectors, more than 1500 plus pre-packaged templates with your Power Platform. That gives me so much more tools to integrate, right? So what we are seeing, it is built on top of Power Platform and Bot Framework. Bot Framework means the Azure side, right? And if I really have more complicated scenarios, let's say my backend is some application which is way old and I have built a custom knowledge base for my organization. You can utilize that also using extension to Bot Framework. So I'm pitching in for low code, no code way. At the same time, if your requirements become complex, and they do become as we evolve, the requirements start becoming more complex, and we are trying to use technology in a completely more innovative way. You have Bot Framework there to extend it. But out-of-box capabilities, yes, you have Power Platform with so many connectors in, right? So my bot can right now query in Dynamics 365, and of course, competition, which is Salesforce as well, if I wanted. Now, the section summary for this one, Power Virtual Agents help us support different industry trends by engaging naturally. You can design them for multiple personas. The example I took with taking all the examples of people attending today and which are different leads, I just took their example, is that different places will have different personas, different cultures. So you can design them for multiple personas. Customer focus, connected and extensible, depending on what my audience is. Customer for a public sector organization is quite different from telecom customer, and a telecom domain customer is quite different from banking customer. It totally depends on where my customer is and what kind of domain, what kind of geography I'm focused on. And you can build really customer focused and connected and extensible bots. Yes, it is built on top of Microsoft Bot Framework. That means when I need to extend for complex scenarios, I can go for utilizing the Microsoft Bot Framework as a SDK. The information architecture, how do we use a bot? So first of all, we have the biggest container, which is CDS environment. CDS contains everything. Within CDS, we have PVA, and then what I can configure is different topics. For example, hi is one topic. Hello is another topic. So these are phrases within the topics. There are some topics which are coming predefined with the bot, which are termed as system topics. And then what I can design is a conversation tree. Conversation tree was that in the few slides back from here, there was a tree kind of structure that you saw, right? So that was your conversation tree design. And then you can give multiple trigger phrases for one particular topic. You can configure pre-built entities, or you can go for custom entities. These entities are Power Virtual Agent entities. I'm clearly telling that. Don't confuse these entities with CDS and Dynamics 365 entities. Entities is a concept within our Power Virtual Agent as well. Then you can trigger Power Automate flows if you wanted, or you can trigger something for Bot Framework, right? You can go for that. And that's the way this entire PVA information architecture is staggered into. What is the chatbot creation process? Create a new bot, create a topic, create your conversations, test your bot, publish it to different channels, analyze. Come into the next iteration of doing it. Do it for first time, do it for second time until you are happy with the performance and the interactions your bot is doing. One key indicator where different organizations want to measure, where we, as an organization, I go and do a demonstration to virtual agents is, okay, do me a kind of proof of concept how the investment on virtual agent is helping me save customer care agent time or helping me have a return of my investment. So that is really important, how many iterations you need to go for before you will find that particular return of investment of using this technology. For virtual agents, the next section summary enables user to create a chatbot in minutes. So whatever I talked about during the introduction to building it in 2017 used to take a month, month and a half, and nowadays we can build them within minutes. They offer an easy to use designer to help create custom experiences, part of Power Platform and built on common data service as well. Let's talk about Power Automate. If you're not used to this, it is important to realize the value of Power Automate. It is the online workflow service that automates action across different apps and services, can be Microsoft, can be different ones, right? The idea is not to focus on Power Automate, but I will still go and tell you about few things. The connectivity, creation is pretty easy. You can edit them and you can even create the approval kind of scenarios in a pretty easy way. Most of the organizations need approvals, right? As you can see, my slide also says the official numbers, but when I checked, it was close to 320 cloud service providers. You can then trigger databases, web APIs, productivity apps. You can even connect to on-premise. What about on-premise, right? Sometimes we have the ask, what will happen in a case of on-premise? Yes, you can install a data gateway and you can trigger in on-premise scenarios as well. And if you don't have anything left and you want to still use this technology, there is an ability to build custom connectors to integrate to some line of business application, LOB, into Power Automate directly. Then I can leverage them with my bot. So this is all powered by Azure. That's the only ask of this slide to understand. And on top, you can connect to all the Microsoft offerings, Dynamics 365, Office 365 rebranded to Microsoft 365, any kind of mobile app, and you can go for web app kind of interface, right? So everything is powered on top of Azure. Azure also opens up a lot of things for us. How do you unlock this? You can use chatbot with location-based services to provide different personalized services. You can enable this with location services. You can put in two-factor authentication to increase your security. You can proactively recommend new promotion, benefits that a customer can have, and better rates to your customers. You can check any user eligibility and submit application on their behalf, right? So sometimes agent time to just take in applications or to take in a new query, not a good investment of a human time. I call it human time in these days. If I use this terminology anywhere else, human time, that is basically I'm saying the agent time, trying to save the agent time. That's what all this technology empowerment is getting us to. Remote diagnosis for IoT devices, yes, you can hook it in with the Azure IoT integrations or Power Automate integrations, and why not? You can utilize it. There are demonstrations out there which you can see where Azure IoT integration with enabled scenarios can be enabled. Making appointments, common scenario, getting a picture of a receipt from an employee and then using Azure AI for expense reimbursement. Yeah, if you want to integrate, you can go as complex as that using the framework. Handing off to a support agent, pretty important. Chatbots and human agents enhance each other. Configure and connect a chatbot to a human Dynamics 365 omni-channel for customer service. Very simple slide, not much to speak about. The key understanding here is you should always know when to hand off to a support agent. Whenever I am seeing any kind of implementations or proof of concept being done currently for PVA, it is important to also understand the value. When do you want to hand off to a support agent? You cannot always be re-triggering. There were queries asked to me as recent as few weeks back about looping, and maybe this was a few weeks back about looping within the bot. Well, why are you non-stop trying to empower the bot only to do the thing? You have to at some stage transfer to an agent. And today's demonstration will be an example of, okay, how we can do it within the bot, the Power Virtual Agent bot. Omnichannel for customer service is a Dynamics 365 app, which you can use to transfer it directly if you're using the capabilities of Dynamics 365. What makes a chatbot successful? Knowing your customer, of course. Knowing your customer is why we are doing the digital transformation. We are doing the digital transformation for our customers so that they enhance and they become more efficient and they increase their revenues and have more better results for themselves. So knowing your customer will be important in case of chat box. Why? Because this is something being exposed to them. So it has to be relevant. Understanding the customer's request and connecting it to the right topic, what the customer is asking. Today, we are going to take an example of a community bot where what the customer is asking, if the customer is asking me to connect to a Dynamics 365 forum, the bot should suggest directly the links for Dynamics 365 forums from Microsoft and not Power Automate or so forth, right? So knowing what to connect to which kind of topic will be very, very important. Giving the accurate, latest and most effective content. Now, content is something the bot will not dynamically trigger. So your content has to be most relevant. Provide personalized, context-aware help. Yeah, it should be personalized. So there are scenarios which you can see in which if once you have done identification of the customer ID using your bot, then it should become personalized. A personalization will be as simple as, okay, once I give my customer ID, greeting me with my name. Hi, Dipesh, right? There is a video link out there for that also, which I'm not going to cover today. But yes, giving this kind of a personalized experience to the person interacting and knowing when to hand off to a human, reiterating that agent talk that we have to know when we have to hand off to a human again. Types of conversation topic. This is Microsoft's high-level categorization. I have just taken a cue from official Microsoft content on this. So I'm just telling you where I have taken this categorization from. Informational, task completion or troubleshooting. Any kind of a question which comes like what is, when I will do this, why it is doing like this, why I'm getting a higher bill. These are informational topic categorization. Task completion kind of, I want to know about where I can learn more on Dynamics 365. How I want to, how do I have a problem with my booking. Troubleshooting straight away, you know that something isn't working right and you need to get an error, you are getting some error message. Most times, troubleshooting kind of topics after some stage it should be quick to be transferred to an agent, right? Because bot might not be able to give you more than just give a knowledge base article or raise a case automatically. But what you should try to do in troubleshooting kind of conversation topics to try and transfer to an agent. Others, information, task completion, it's a mix. Informational, yes, bots can solve that kind of topics very, very easily. Task completion, if the customer is not satisfied, then you should quickly again try to go into a agent transfer. Trigger phases, what are the best practices? Pick a topic, define what is the goal, create the trigger phases and then keep reviewing them. We'll see that in action. But while creating the trigger phases, it is important to give enough number of relevant trigger phases to your bot. Conversational styles, what will be good? It needs to be seeming to be cooperative. Please let me get back to you. One thing which people forget, let's say you're triggering something with Power Automate, it can take time sometimes for Power Automate to get in information back for you. At that time, what messaging you are giving, is it seeming cooperative or not? And typically it should be same as when we were interacting with somebody, which is a human agent on a chat. What were we trying to do there? It has to be cooperative. It has to be goal oriented. I'm trying to ask about Dynamics 365 community. I'm not looking for options for other communities at that moment. I'm trying to understand, my goal is to find that information. Should be fast, turn based. It should keep asking me if I have any more problem, just like a human agent will. Truthful, well, yes, you should provide relevant information and it should seem to be polite. You cannot just keep a bot which doesn't have all those human elements to it. These are some chatbot conversational styles that should be in our consideration while designing. What are the tips I can give? Write like you speak. We like to interact in the way like we speak. Use bigger words but fewer ideas. Don't try to make bot give a paragraph for you when you return to a response to a particular phrase. Be brief. Reverse of that, right? Use bigger words but be brief. Get to the point fast and project friendliness. That will help you win over a good Power Virtual Agent user adoption, right? Like when you do this kind of a project, user adoption, this kind of tips will be required. Why are analytics important? Analytics are pretty important for monitoring and seeing the chatbot performance improvements. There is an out-of-box analytical dashboard and you can monitor the session outcomes over time and pay attention to the purple line. If you see a purple line in this particular analytical window, your abandon rate is increasing and that means your bot is not performing well. What we'll do next, enough on the slides, we'll go for a real demo of a community bot. So Here we are going to look at the community bot. Let me quickly transfer my screen over so that I can showcase it to everybody. If there are any queries, Prashant or Vivek, in the interim, feel free. You can let me know if there were queries till this point, or nothing without the demonstration, then also it's okay. Or you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask your query, predominantly with
Yes,
the concept that we talked.
Deepesh, Dhaval has got a question. Dhaval,
Okay.
would you like to unmute yourself?
Hey, hi Dipesh.
I, I love it.
Thanks for taking my question at this point of time. So I just wanted to check, can PVA be used? Sorry, first of all, because I'm actually outside. I went for some work. So yeah. So I wanted to check that can PVA be used to get the social media analytics from different handles?
Can you
Like
elaborate on your question, Dhaval, a bit? Social media analysis on
uh, let's say we have a Twitter integration with CRM, or a functionality which was being deprecated, which was social media engagement. So actually I wanted to check the possibility that whether PVA can be used, like bots can be created to, so that they can provide the analytics from social media handles, like how many followers are there for specific let's say hashtag, or any other
cert- okay.
keyword.
Yeah, I got your question, Dhaval. So certain things are out of box available. For example, I will take two examples in which Champs community is empowering itself a bit, right? So one is Twitter integration. So we are trying to automate all our postings at the moment using Power Automate. And of course, I told you that your bot can be integrated using Power Automate. So I can query in certain data out of box. For
Okay.
our community courses that were created, I think Dharani is also on the call, and we used a LinkedIn custom connector option that required a bit more work, but Power Automate was again key for us. So whenever somebody completes our community course, they get a posting automatically on social media, including Twitter and LinkedIn. I believe the same technology can be integrated to your community bot. And if you have things on Facebook at the moment, Facebook, Instagram, and other things, what is not available, there is SDK. Most of the things in social media, why certain tools were not provided by Microsoft and had to be stopped, is because those companies decided, the social media companies decided, we will not give APIs anymore. And if you don't give APIs anymore to a certain provider, nobody can empower that technology, right? So that was one of the primary motives. So if the API itself is not there, you are not going to get this information. But there are ways, there are apps within Facebook, there are apps you can build in LinkedIn, Instagram, routing through which you can build custom connectors and integrations as well. But if you want to integrate it to bot, I think you will need a bot framework at play. So I have gone through all the possible things that I am aware of. Maybe you can look at it offline also with me. All right. So
Okay.
these are the things I can tell you high level about social media integration.
Can
Sure,
I
sure,
just
sure. We'll
add
catch up on that.
something, Deepesh, if you permit?
Yeah. Yeah, Prashant. Go ahead.
All right. So to Dhaval, in short, yes, it can be done, but if a client asks such question, your duty is to ask them, why would you like to see that on your chatbot? Like, why do you want to ask the Power Virtual Agent that question? It can be done via Power Automate, but do you need such information via the bot? Deepesh was telling us about improving the bottom line of the company. So when you get into such transformation, you're trying to reduce cost, you're trying to increase efficiency, right? Do you want to see reports inside a bot? I would personally not recommend that. You've got dashboards, you've got Power BI, you can do a lot of automation and get such things in that dashboard. It can be done here in short, but do you want that? That's the question. So if your client has got that question, ask them back this question.
Sure, sure. Yes, definitely.
Well,
Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks
I
for
think
taking.
that's a good functional perspective to it. I would have, if you ask me not from a technical perspective, I'll completely agree to that comment. I don't think bot is a place where I want to do so much complex things. Another thing you can relate to, which I said, Dhaval, is about you need to know when to transfer to an agent, and these are more complex scenarios, right? Rather than a PVA, maybe you are better off if you really need to go, even with all the discussions, you should just directly go to the Azure bot framework, right? And because at some stage your requirements will become very, very complex. and that is the way to go. All right. So coming back to my demonstration, so you see a bot open up over here, community bot. Emoji help. Thanks, Prashant, for helping me with all those cool videos where I also learned about emojis and putting it with the bot. And I'm going to utilize that on this demonstration today. So what this community bot does, what is the scenario? You can put this bot on your community portal or your knowledge base kind of area on your company website, your intranet site, or your Teams, whatever you use, Teams or any other embedding that you want to do. And it helps you with getting documentation for somebody who is starting new or who is coming in and who is trying to search for different kinds of links, right? That is the ideology of this community bot, which we'll see in the demonstration. I hope I'm not missing any questions before starting.
We do have some questions, but I've replied that we can answer that after the demo. So please go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I'll start with the demo then. And this is the scenario of this community bot, what we are going to do. I believe everybody was waiting for the hands-on time, right? So I'll just say hi. It's one of the trigger phrases that have been configured. Once I say hi, you will see really community kind of experience, right? There are a lot of smileys, and the scenario here is, hi, I'm the community bot. I can help you with navigating around the information you're looking. May I know your name, please? I'll just kick in my names. Okay, this is Deepesh. Personalization. As soon as the name was said, pick up the particular the name that was captured in the last instance and then personalize it. Thanks, Deepesh. How I can help? Very small thing, but isn't it giving us that human element to things? Yes, it does give us that human element to things. How can I help? So I need help with Dynamics 365. I will put one of the faces, D365. Deepesh, following options are available in Dynamics 365 community. This is from Microsoft. There is a general forum. There is ideas. What happens when I click that? One link click and I directly go to the Microsoft community site, right? Where I can ask my questions further. Did that answer my question? Being conversational and being sure that did this conversation stop or not? If it doesn't stop, you should pick no or you should pick yes. Again, the design principle of the bot follows the same thing. You need to know when to loop, right? And this is a clear thing which is being asked to the bot, that did you want to answer, did this particular solution answer your problem or not? Maybe no. If I say no, I'm giving the transfer time, and this is the design consideration I was talking about. Talk to an agent or you want to rephrase, and then being very polite and saying, sorry, I wasn't able to help better. Would you like to help? And you would like to get a human agent or try rephrasing, giving those options, right? So no, I don't want to talk to agent. I want to first rephrase and go ahead. I'm listening. So again, giving a polite feedback in. So while we are using technology, but the bot is seeming really human to us, and that's really important in designing a Power Virtual Agent bot. Go ahead, I'm listening. So do you think there is somebody talking to me from behind? No, this is all happening by the AI power of Power Virtual Agent. So I'm trying to understand Power Automate. So, or I'm just trying to find what is this community thing that was posted. So I'll just say communities. Deepesh, please select a community to proceed further. And now I've been given options for all kinds of communities here, right, by the bot. So the one which I am looking for, of course, we are with Power Virtual Agent. So why not look at the Power Virtual Agent community? Yes, so I am getting options, and let me go for forums here. This time I'm directly navigated to the Power Virtual Agent and Power Platform community from Microsoft. And there are questions and I can see things, I can ask my queries here. So we know when to get transfer, right? Did that answer the question? Yes. Always try to gain feedback. I was happy with this experience now. Can I help with anything else? Again, thanks for the feedback. Can I help with something else? No, thanks. I'm done. Sorted, right? So this is the one kind of cycle you can follow. Another cycle I have followed over in this demonstration. Let me see. The page has to refresh probably. Yeah, here. Here I have given another kind of thing. The page. I'm not able to find a related topic. So there are negative scenarios. Sometimes it will not be able to rephrase. What is the thing you need to do here? You need to go with analytics and see what phrases were not triggered in, and we have to improve our bot, right? And I cannot find a related topic, but it's still being polite. And then when it found the match, it gave me an answer. So there can be negative outcomes also. Understanding there can be negative outcomes is very important to your Power Virtual Agent design as well, right? Not always it will try to find a matching phrase. Sometimes a user will come or a customer will come and kick in something that is not available to you. So in those kinds of scenarios, you have to go for something else, handling it. How do you handle that scenario? Now, analytics. I talked about analytics. So where do I see analytics? Here is an example of the analytics that you can see. I had not refreshed it. This does take time to empower, so I'm not going to refresh this, but you can see how many total sessions are there, what is your engagement rate. If you see purple line, this is your purple line here. Do you see purple line, everybody? This purple line is bad. This is the abandoning rate, right? So I do not want to be getting abandoning onto my bot. Customer satisfaction scores, whatever we are submitting there, will come back into CSAT scores, right? So what is my CSAT score? And what is the resolution rate? What is the abandon rate? It should not be high, right? So here the resolution rate is 83%. These are all out of box capabilities. There are no sessions to download. So if you wanted to store sessions and billing, you get an idea about your billing also, because everything, this kind of technology is built, right? So how many build sessions are there and what kind of billing is going on for you? Because it's a consumption based tool, as clear as that. I will not get into further details of how things really work out in terms of licensing, but you can see now it has refreshed. I have 83% and I have a purple line here, which is my abandoned one, right? Which was abandoned in one of the scenarios I tried. Now, where did we go and publish this? Publishing bot is as simple as publish, click publish, and that's all. And there's a demo website from Microsoft where you can check, or you might say, no, I want to go and publish to the different channels. You can come here and publish it to a different kind of channel. These are the out-of-box ones available for now. And this is a ever-growing list. When I last did a Power Virtual Agents before the current wave updates, there were lesser number of channels. I can visually see that here, right? So I can go for my custom website, I can go for a mobile app, and everything that you will do will give you different kinds of experience. Or if you want to go with the embed code, that is also available to you, right? So you can copy the bot ID, tenant ID, you can go with that approach, or you can just directly configure in your relevant bot. Now, where did the information come from? When I talked about entities, one of the entities that we have used is communities. So this is the place from where the bot was picking up information for me. So these entities are meant for bot, not meant for your CDS or Dynamics 365. So this is a different variation of the particular entity that we are talking about, right? Don't confuse this with the concept we have around CDS entity or your Dynamics 365 entity. This is meant for more for the bot to be utilized. So they are either pre-built, lot are provided by Microsoft, again out-of-box capabilities, like which are typically used, for example, point of interest. There is one for street address, things which are commonly required, right? Then let's come back to the core, which are topics. So there are 8 system topics. I will take example for one of the simpler topics like good afternoon. So if I see that particular topic, I can see what are the trigger phrases, right? Whenever you say all of these, what the bot is going to do. So that's what you can see with this particular system topic. So I'll click this link to open what we call as the authoring canvas. So after all these trigger phrases are triggered, what the bot needs to do. I think this is the simplest 101 example we can utilize. So every time something like that is triggered, what the bot is going to do, it is going to trigger back a message. Then I can have question type of messages. I will not have enough time to go into deep diving of each of these because there are questions. But this is one example of the thing and how simple it is. You can trigger it from this conditional area over here, right? And then you can try to test your bot live in action. Like how? Let me say good afternoon. In India, it is good afternoon. In other parts of the world, it is a different time. But let me see what happens if I trigger good afternoon. It will really show what is getting kicked in, right? And where I am. So you can do parallel builds of this sort, and you don't need, it's so intuitive, you do not really need a lot of technical skill set to be developed. But however, to build and know all the capabilities, you do need time. But this was a 101 where you can quickly see everything. You can manage your channels, you can manage your authentication as well in the same way. So I hope that quick demonstration was helpful to you in trying to understand how the bot experience can empower your particular customers or your employees, your community, whatever your use case is. Any queries? I'll be happy to take them up at this time. Is there any query, Prashant? Because I know the time is saying 1:22 IST.
Yeah, 8 more minutes we have, and there are 2 queries. Anand, do you want to unmute yourself and ask?
Hi Dipesh, it's really a nice presentation and a knowledgeable experience for us. I just need to check whether we can use it for the multilingual capabilities within the bot itself for my Indian customers.
Multilingual. So multilingual
Yeah.
capabilities that exist, but Indian languages are yet to come, Anand. So I cannot publicly share, but
Okay.
yes, the multilingual capabilities exist, but not for Indian languages yet. That's the answer to that one.
And things are in place, like they're working towards it.
They are,
There's only one Indian language which they have picked up, which is still in experiment. So it's
yes,
called under experiment or experimental. It's
yes.
Hindi. It's not all the languages, and we all know that there are like 600 dialects in India. So it can be a very huge task for an organization to do that. But let me tell you a trick. You can always do it via Google Translate. So if you want to paste it even in the English one, you can provide your response in in whatever language you prefer, right? So if you want to do it that way, that will take you much more time compared to what happens at the moment. So you can do it that way, but Polish, Korean, and Hindi, they are in experimental.
Experimental stage. And I know, Anand, where you might be coming for this question from. Experimental features are only for validation. They are not, I mean, there is no guarantee that the experimental feature will kick in, right? So there is a work in progress and the roadmap can change, right? The priorities can change according to the need. So that's the reason I said I didn't say publicly about it, but yes, there is an experimental stage. Microsoft is building it, and the amount of languages and dialects we have, it will be a good test for the bot, I think. The second variation, if you really want to extend this, is as he said, as Prashant already mentioned, we can use Azure Cognitive Service behind the scene with the bot framework. Yes, we can do that, and a lot of APIs are available for that area. So I hope that answered the question for you, Anand.
Yeah. Thanks, Deepesh. Thanks, Prashant.
And what was the other question, Prashant or Vivek?
Murli, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Prasant and Deepesh. My first question is that how to pass multiple variables from PVA to database and get the return value. For example, if I am developing a skill-based solution on PVA, if I have to pass multiple variables like for a region, like take Hyderabad with a Azure and Python skill set, then how I have to pass these multiple variables from PVA?
I did do another Power Virtual Agent, and that demonstration should be useful. The audio might not be the one which I want to use, but I will want to take you through that example,
Okay.
which should give you an idea of variables. Of course, this is a customer support automation scenario, a bit more complicated than 101, where
Okay.
you have customer some issue with the product and service, then quickly go to the web page, then they can get the bot and ask some query. I'm getting a ID and then I'm also going in and giving the solution, which is the knowledge base. If the solution is useful, then the bot will ask for issue and raise a case as well. So I'm passing multiple variables in this particular example, right? I'll share the link separately on the chat. You can take it from there. But yes, you have a way to pass in, and you can give parameters to your Power Automate at a high level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
once you are there, you can query database,
Question
I
my
can query ServiceNow, Salesforce. I only prefer to query Dynamics and Power Platform, right?
yes.
Okay.
And the second part of my question is how to integrate PVA with a Power App, either it is a mobile app or a web portal.
For that you can look at the channels that I talked about. So there is a place called as channels where you have embedding capability, right? So from channels, you have mobile custom website. For any kind of custom website, you will get an embed code directly here, right? So it is clearly
Okay.
visible to you there. And mobile apps are quite different. Power App and Power Automate, there are already available workarounds which are available how you can embed them really easy.
Okay, thank you.
Just for the Power App, when you said mobile, I am assuming that you meant Canvas apps. And
Yes.
for that, there is no easy solution at the moment, but there is solution. So if you know how to create PCF controls, you can do one control which can show you an iframe, and that's how
Okay.
you can include the bot in that, right? But that might be quite tedious. But in the roadmap, it would come out of the box as well. But what time, I'm not aware, and probably nobody is. In terms of Power Apps Portal, there are three different ways available, and if you Google about it, you'll get the results that there are three different ways available. You can embed it in your Power Apps Portal.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Prashant.
Yes, so there are ways. There are workarounds. So everything is possible at this stage. And if you're talking about an actual mobile apps are built in very different ways. If it is not a Canva, mobile app can be a web container based or it can be based on the ID. Both ways are available during the bot publishing process. All right.
Yeah. I have already built a mobile app on Canvas app using, and it is
Okay.
working fine. No, but only thing is that I wanted to leverage the PBA for my customer. There I have a little challenges. Because of that, I asked this question.
Oh,
But still, I received some answers from your side. Thank you all, Dipesh and Prashant. I
thank you.
follow both of you in social media.
Thank you very much for being kind to us.
No, not a kind. We all are sharing our technology
Right.
knowledge to the world. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm pitching this in, and I will leave it to Vivek. Prashant, I hope that's okay. So Vivek, you can summarize. I will be. I hope the slides are visible now, right? To
Yeah.
everybody.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Dipesh. It was a really nice and wonderful session where you explained all the things in detail as well as you showed the demo. We know within an hour's time, it's really hard to take into most of the technicalities or preparing the things and at that particular moment. But yep. So guys, if you have any kind of queries, you can reach out to us using these social media connects which are presented over here. The way we are doing now the meetups, there are some other initiatives as well which are going on with the champs. So because the time is not permitting to meet in person, we are doing these virtual meetups. The moment the market is open, we travel a lot to India as well as outside, and we provide this information that okay, we are in this place and we can surely meet up in person. That's the one way which we had already done at multiple places in India as well as out of India. Other than this, as a meetups, we have another program as a Power Virtual Hour where also we get some good expertise from the industry who go and present their expertise and knowledge. There also, if you have anything to present from your experiences, it's not like you should be presenting a specific or the new things. It's totally open, whatever you can present, and that is relevant to Dynamics or any of the Power Platform kind of capabilities or the stack. You can always go and present it over there. So that kind of things are going on. We have separate kind of channels like Kazala where you can join. Please do join there. You please follow us on the LinkedIn so you are aware about what all kind of meetups or anything are happening over the Dynamics 365 champs. It's not like if it is a Hyderabad meetup, if you are only from Hyderabad, you should join. It's completely open to all because not all places we are presenting the same solutions or the same topics. At every other place, we have different speakers, we have different sessions, we have different topics, and you will always hear something new from us, right? So thank you, Prashant, and thank you, Dipesh, for your efforts of presenting these things. And if you still have any queries, you can always drop us a note onto any of the given channels. Thank you for joining. It was really good session. Thank you, Dipesh and Prashant, once again, and thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, Vivek. Just to add, the community is empowered by community. So if you want to speak at any of our D365 Champs Power Platform meetup, we have leads today from almost 6 or 7 countries, if I remember correctly. You can get in touch with any of the leads, or you can just fill in this form if you want to present, because community can only work if there are people contributing, right? That's the way a community will work. And at the same time, don't feel bad if you're just okay, you have to be experienced to present. No, we are doing a lot of beginner kind of sessions as well. Many people want to learn basics as well and coming new into technology. So please fill in the form and do share us if you want to speak at any of the meetups. There is one coming for Mumbai. We did one for Indore. The frequencies will be dependent on the feedbacks and the amount of meetups we are going to get. So thanks to you, Prashant and Vivek, to organize, and thanks everybody else to join, Roma, Dharani, Dhawal, for helping actively with the community. Thanks everybody else also to attend this session today from my end.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
Deepesh.
Have a great week.
Thank you
You
all.
too, Murli.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
so
Thank
much
you,
all
Prashant.
for attending. We will now stop the recording.
Thank you.
Yeah, Prashant.